All right, let's get to meteorologist Mike Seidel. He's got a close-up look at the damage there, Mike, and it's pretty extensive in a lot of places around Jacksboro.
Yes, and it hit two schools right as the school day was ending. Jacksboro High School, the folks that had cars that could drive home, the principal said, get in your car and get home. Plenty of advance warning from the National Weather Service in Fort Worth, and everybody else stayed in the interior area of the school. Nobody killed. This is quite the picture. This is the gymnasium at Jacksboro Elementary School. Now, parents were lined up to pick up the kids, and they knew the storm was coming. That was warned for a tornado from the Weather Service. Many of them ran into the building, left their cars. Look at those cars. Some of those cars that had parents in them to pick up their kids were flipped. They got the 500 children in the school into a safe area, the interior part of the school, and miraculously, nobody killed. There were some injuries, but nobody killed. So that's the scene. This is what was the gymnasium. The high school nearby also lost the roof to the gym. The middle school is okay. The tornado came right through here at about 4 p.m. The tornado watch was out several hours before that. They had plenty of advance warning from Dallas, Fort Worth, NWS with the tornado warning. So quick thinking by the staff, the teachers, the principal here at the school. Also at the high school where they got the kids in the interior, and like I said, the ones that had cars had enough time to drive home in this small town. We're about 90 miles west-northwest of Dallas, about an hour from Fort Worth. So that puts it in perspective on a very chilly, windy day. That's not helped the cleanup. We've had wind gusts out here from the northwest over 30 miles an hour. But the threat continues. Tornado watches and crews on the scene across the lower Mississippi Valley. We'll check back in with Jen Carfagno and Chris Bruin coming up on the Weather Channel.
Jacksboro, Texas. It was a likely tornado that left a debris field about 2 miles wide. Meteorologist Mike Seidel live for us. You know, we've seen all the damage done to the community schools, a lot of cleanup, and a lot of important structures there in the area impacted.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 schools here, the middle school untouched, high school lost their gymnasium roof. And I want to set the stage. Yesterday, about 3:30, parents were lined up here at the elementary school in Jacksboro. We're about an hour or so west-northwest of Fort Worth, and they knew the storm was coming. They didn't have time to really drive away, so they got out of their cars and ran into the building. You can see what happened to some of the cars. They got flipped. Now, the parents got inside, the staff at the school, the teachers, the principal, they all got the 500 children into a safe area in the interior of the room, and that's what's left of the gymnasium. Nobody was killed because of quick actions and because of the National Weather Service in Dallas-Fort Worth got that warning out with plenty of lead time. More on the tornado watches and warnings next.
Jacksboro, Texas, where a likely tornado left a debris field at least 2 miles wide.
Right, meteorologist Mike Seidel is live for us this afternoon with a closer look at some of that damage. I think the first thing that people notice is the schools that were hit, Mike, but neighborhoods as well.
Yes, neighborhoods around the school. This is about a block, 2 blocks from the back of the elementary school, which took a direct hit. We haven't got the word from the National Weather Service in Dallas-Fort Worth on the rating. They've been out. They've confirmed 2 tornadoes in the immediate Dallas-Fort Worth area, but we're about an hour west-northwest of Fort Worth. Look at this house, and look what happened to their SUV. All right, is that I can't no, it's an SUV, got flipped over from the driveway right here in front of the front door. We've seen a lot of folks around here cleaning up. They've cut a lot of wood. You can see oak in the background, and they've done the front loaders and piled up debris. So they've done a lot of work on this street. Look at this lot. Has been completely cleared of all the debris. They're now raking up the little branches. So they've been hard at work, and we'll come down the street here and show you another house that lost its entire roof. It's gone. So the tornado came through here about 4 p.m. yesterday. No fatalities in this area, including at both schools. Elementary school had 500 kids. They got them to an interior room right before school was dismissed. You can see how the cleanup has continued. A lot of chainsaws at work today, front-end loaders, and more debris down the street. There's some corrugated aluminum in the trees, and you'd have to think this is potentially EF-3 damage. We'll see what the Weather Service says, but just a real mess as the tornado came through. Today, the problem has been, Mike and Alex, these gusty northwest winds blowing the insulation around, blowing the dust around. So the air is dried out very quickly. It's much colder today. It's about 25 degrees colder in the mid-40s, not counting the wind chill. So we're well done out of the severe here, northwest and west of Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah, they definitely need a break for sure to do the cleanup. Mike, thank you so much.
Getting some new information from the National Weather Service there in the area that a preliminary EF-3 tornado did this damage. Mike Seidel there in Jacksboro, Texas.
Hey, good afternoon, Alex. And they just let us know, the Weather Service at DFW, this was an EF-3 tornado, and the winds estimated at 140 to 150 miles an hour. And nobody knows more than that than Russ Ray. And Russ, thanks for joining us this afternoon. Tell us what happened. You were home when the tornado hit.
I was home when the tornado hit. I looked out west. It was real dark. Looked out east. It was light and calm. Ran back in the house, grabbed the dog, got in the bathroom and hunkered down. And within 5 seconds, the tornado hit, took off the roof, took out the ceiling, pretty much demolished the house, you can see. My wife was away, thank God. She's a couple miles up the road at the food pantry handing out food to the less fortunate. So we didn't have to worry about her, but me and the dog got through it okay, but it was pretty scary.
Well, that's great news. You've got insurance. And how long? You told me you haven't been in this house very long.
7 months.
7 months.
Yeah, we redid the whole inside when we bought it, so it's all
So now you're going to redo it again.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, it's a nice spring project. How did your dog, was the dog, what kind of dog do you have?
She's a Shih Tzu Schnauzer cross.
Was the dog nervous, shaking?
She was shaking the whole time, yeah. She was fine.
She's okay now?
Yeah, she's fine.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We're glad nobody perished in this EF-3.
Me too, thank you.
Yes. Okay. Great story here from this area of Texas. More on the tornado threat. Tornado warnings continue in the lower Mississippi Valley. Stay with us.
So Jacksboro, Texas was a target. Meteorologist Mike Seidel is there to give us a look at some of the damage, Mike, and some of the cleanup happening today.
An EF-3, 140 to 150 mile an hour winds estimated by the Weather Service. But I want to show you the difference. We often show you this, that how just a few feet makes a big difference in the damage. This house here in the corner, they've done an amazing job of cleaning up. But notice, they've lost some windows, but they have a complete roof. No roof damage at all that we can see. Over here, just next door, they took it a lot harder. Just, literally 15, 20 yards away, they lost their entire roof. The tornado was coming towards where I'm looking. Yesterday about 4 p.m. it was coming in this direction, basically from south-southwest to north-northeast. Same thing on this side of the street. Their roof pretty much intact. The car got flipped. They lost the windows, but the thing about the roof is you lose the roof, and it rained for 10 or 15 minutes last night, and then everything else has to be remediated. And the house next door, we talked to the owner, Ray, short time ago. He got into the tub, into the bathroom with his dog, and he is okay because he heeded the warning and took the precautions. But look, he's without a roof, and they have a roof. So a good illustration of what happens with a tornado and the damage path. Again, it depends on the width too, and if we have any kind of suction vortices. We have more tornadoes to worry about this evening. Tornado watch continues. We've got Jordan Steele, and we also have coming up this evening in Mobile, we have Chris Bruin. As the storms roll east, stay with the Weather Channel for the latest updates throughout the evening.